Hi, I'm Josh Green. I'm with Wine and Spirits magazine, and I'm here on East 12th Street at Terroir in New York. We've got Paul Greco, the owner of Terroir. He's going to be interviewing Gary Vaynerchuk, the host of Wine Library TV. Come on inside for a taste of the wine revolution.
So,
go ahead.
Gary Vaynerchuk from, where's the name of that place in New Jersey?
Springfield.
Springfield. Wine Library, formerly known as?
Shoppers Discount Liquors.
Awesome. Your family opened the shop when?
83.
And they are from Eastern Europe, Russia?
Yeah, Belarus. I was born in Belarus.
And came here when you were 3?
Yes.
Rock on.
Impressive.
I tried to be.
That's
So
pretty impressive.
Mom and Dad opened the shop, and it was what upon the first day?
You know, it was a liquor store, lots of liquor and beer, lots of beer. Beer was 50% of the store. And because we were in that Short Hill, Springfield area, there was some wine demand. And so Shoppers Discount Liquors, around 14, 15, I got involved. And, you know, I wasn't
Even though you're below age?
Even though I'm below age. I wasn't drinking. Mom and Dad are amazing. That way, they're very smart about the way they handle their children.
So you were the best stock boy in there?
I was the best stock boy. And I made signs. I was big on markers. I just had no interest in beer and liquor. I was not the normal teenager. That didn't get me excited. I didn't want to drink it, and it wasn't that cool to me. And the only thing that kind of sparked my interest was wine, because I was collecting baseball cards and making a lot of money doing that at the time. Had my little baseball card business. And when people came in asking for, the moment is very clear in my mind, it was the 90 Caymus Special Select, because that year, you know, Spectator named it Wine of the Year, and like 30, 40 people came in on a Saturday asking for it.
Your history is that you read The Spectator, you devoured it cover to cover, and that's where you got your knowledge. Did you read The Spectator and then find out Caymus was special like and say, hey Dad, we got to get this? Or that came first and you said, well, maybe there's a movement here that we should get on top of?
You know, it was the collecting. It was the collecting that really started it. That's when I started really devouring and reading. I dusted off some old Hugh Johnson books and started getting that. Then one day there's this little, you know, manila folder type thing. I'm like, what's this? Wine Advocate, Robert Parker. Opened up that. It was the California issue. Why don't I know any of these names? What is a Abreu? What is a Roja? You know, he was talking about these things that Spectator wasn't at the time. So it was all knowledge. I always say that I got screwed. If I grew up in this era with the internet, I'd be dominant. Because really, it was a 4-year focus until I was 21, which was, I need to learn everything, because when I'm 21, I just want to focus on my palate.
But back to the wine stuff, because
Yeah.
obviously for your mom and dad, it must have been a seismic shift that all of a sudden our punk little kid comes in the store
Sure.
and says, we need to buy Caymus
Yeah.
Special Select. By the way, how much were you able to get after it was named the #1 wine?
Here's the best part. My dad bought Caymus Special Select as a closeout. Yeah, you know, you remember. I mean, things
Dad's
were
smarter
way
than you
different.
think.
My dad's way smarter than I even know. You know, the fact of the matter is that people, you know, the culture was very different. I mean, in 1993, 94, people weren't running and screaming and, you know, throwing uppercuts like Cabbage Patch Kids to get these wines. You know, they were totally focused on drinking some French wines and different things. And, you know, we had a very interesting wine program. I remember when I really started learning, went to the Burgundy section and saw nothing but Chateauneuf de Pape's. And I was like, you know what, I can bring something here. And so, you know, that's what I started doing. And, you know, my dad is a lot less talkative than me. And we lived in Hunterdon County, New Jersey. So we had a 45-minute drive there and 45-minute drive back. And I pounded that poor man for 45 minutes straight.
What questions did you ask him?
There was no questions, there were demands. Dad, please, let's get rid of the beer cooler. It takes up 50% of the store. Who cares about beer? We make no money anyway. Give me that space, we can build a wine program. And what I realized very quickly was within a year, 17 years old, being a junior in high school, and going to the store and talking to the wine people that would come through my dad's shop, realizing I was hungry for knowledge, and I was like, hey, do you have any Chinon? You know, we need Chinon. And they would be like, what? And I would be like, wait a minute, where is America in its knowledge base, right? And I quickly realized, you know, I remember when I brought up Quince, and not a single person of like the 15 people that were presenting that day knew what I was talking about. And I said to myself, okay, wait a minute, there's an opportunity here. I can wreck shop in this, right? I mean, I got time, you know, and I'm gonna learn this, and, you know, eventually, hopefully, I'll like it. I mean, there was a big fear, especially when I was like 20 and a half, when I was really invested. I was really scared I wasn't going to like wine. I mean, and that first year was difficult for me, 21 to 22. I'm not drinking wine at this point.
You were buying all of these cool Appellation wines based on your reading?
That's totally based on reading.
So how did you know the quality of what you were buying was in play?
I relied on the critics. There's no doubt in my mind, and I'm going to apologize directly this way, there's people that I probably told Chateauneuf du Pape was 100% Pinot Noir. I mean, I was 15, I was like so excited. I was just wanted to get, even then, wanted to get people. I remember I was obsessed with getting people not to drink Kendall Jackson Chardonnay. Because that's
what do you have against KJ?
I had nothing against KJ besides the fact that every human being that walked through my dad's store wanted a case of it.
But it was easy to sell. It was a good, your mom and dad must have loved that because they knew.
Hell yeah, they loved it. We had 40 trillion stacks. As a matter of fact, my dad had a huge stack of Sebastiani Chardonnay 1.5s in front of the store that after I finally beat him down to move it, the boxes were indentated into the tile. I mean, it was there that long. And so, you know, at a very young age.
Do you have a monument to that wine now?
We actually, I do have a bottle of it. And I have a bottle of Kenwood Chardonnay because that was my go-to for the Kendall Jackson people. And of course, you know, I'm 17, I look like I'm 9, people are coming in, I want a case of KJ, and I'd be like, no, you don't. You know, you need Kenwood. You know, it was just like, there was a lot of passion. And, you know, when I started Wine Library TV in early 2006, it really just became this new formation of what I did in 1993 and 94.
Gotcha. Now, when did the name change to the Wine Library?
1998, when I came in full time. You know, I felt like we needed something that was brandable and more serious, that, you know, and really gave a vision of what we were doing. And, you know, Shoppers Discount Liquors did not talk about, you know, 100% Petit Verdot, and didn't talk about, you know, that's right. That's right.
So you finished high school. Did you go to university?
I went to school in Boston, Mount Ida College. I was really not into school. I came home 80% of my weekends from Boston to work at the Wine Library.
Or Shoppers Discount up there? She must have loved it.
I did, but you know, because I was such a shit student, I didn't do anything Monday through Friday. So it was almost like, yes, I did, but you know, but honestly, strictly on charisma, if you want to be really honest. I mean, I used to roll into class and be like, on the first day, and be like, Professor, listen, I'm launching this internet company. I have no time for this. Can I give a seminar and get a D-? And some of them were like, yeah. So that was a good scheme for me.
So you come back on the weekends from university. You are full-time back at the store when you're 21?
21, 22, yep.
Previously, your mom and dad had done $4 million in business.
Right.
And you've grown that 50 million, 60 million in some reports.
I have a lot of entrepreneurial spirit. You know, I want to work very hard, and those things tend to work well. You know, I took the company from 4 million to 10 million in 12 months and was paying myself $27,000 a year. The normal 23-year-old who does that wants the car, wants the apartment. It wasn't what I was looking to do. I was looking to punch every retailer in the neck. That was my goal. I wanted to shock the retail wine industry.
So how did you do that? From a business perspective, that's extraordinary, that growth.
It was the fact that when I'm there every day now, Monday through Friday, the guy or gal that walked in for a bottle of Benzinger Chardonnay was walking away with a mixed case of Pouilly Fumés and Fumé Blancs and different wines, and you know, I was able to capture them, and the passion was obvious, and they wanted to buy other wines.
A lot of us want to convert people from that KJ, that Kenwood to, you know, Conseil or Pouilly Fumé.
Sure.
But how do you actually do that? Some guy comes in, I need a case of this for a party, and all of a sudden they're walking out with 2 mixed cases of, you know, esoteric shit from God knows where.
Right. I mean, because I just refused to let them leave. I mean, it was just, I legitimately think that people bought the wines because they were mad at me. Like, I just would not.
They just wanted to get rid of you.
They just wanted to get rid of me. And they were like, I'm never coming.
This guy up is to
I am never coming back to this piece of crap wine shop. This guy's annoying the crap out of me, until they went home and tried the wines. And see, that's the greatness, right? I mean, that's the beauty of wine. People are closed until you open them. And to me, you know, it's my job, you know, now especially more than ever with this large platform that I have with Wine Library TV, I feel an enormous sense of responsibility to give back to this wine world that's been so good to my immigrant family. And I feel like I have this job. If I feel like, you know, that I have to do this for wine, because I don't think wine wants to be on this pedestal. And I don't think wine is happy that in America we drink 7 varietals. I mean, there's so much out there. And I want to talk about the wines of Gaillac. And I want to talk about what's going on in Portugal. And I want people to be able to embrace what's going on in Greece and what's going to be coming out of Eastern European wines, and what's going to eventually happen in India and China, wherever. I know in some weird way that it's my duty to help be the cheerleader for this product, and I think because I'm a little bit different molding than most wine people, because Wine Library's success was very simple. We were a small wine shop with a lot of heart and soul, but I was just a big retailer. I just knew how to do it. And so, a lot of people who didn't understand what was going on in Wine Library were like, oh, it's a big box store just selling lots of wine. They didn't understand that nobody in America was buying and carrying more 100% Petit Verdot. That when I opened the new Wine Library, which is now a 40,000 square foot store, it was because I wanted to have 100 Austrian wines in the store at all times. That I wanted to have a 42 bottle Hungarian, Greek, Turkish section. I mean, that's what gets me excited.
Must have looked at that and said, Gary, what the hell are you doing?
You know what happened? In 1998, what happened was I came home, my dad went and built my mom her dream house. It was a very family kind of thing. When my dad came back, quote unquote, we were doing $10 million. It's let me promise any kid that gets involved with their family business, if you want to have street cred and you want to do what you want to do, a very good way to go about that is by exploding your family business.
So send your father away for the summer, and when he comes back, you expanded the company by 2.5 times.
And it becomes very difficult to argue, right?
True. So one might say you're focusing, or your passion is for esoterica, but it's not really esoteric. The fact that in Greece they drink Assyrtiko from Santorini, and it's every day on the table, that's not esoteric.
No.
We just may not know it, but it's unfair to call it esoteric.
Fair.
So how are you selling $50 million worth of wines of that so-called esoteric nature?
Well, it's mixed in, right? Obviously, it's very easy to get to 50, 60 million when you sell $12 million worth of 2000.
So easy, but
well, when you're selling $12 million worth of 2005 futures, right? I mean, it's very funny. I feel like half and half, right? Obviously, we know how to get to business that way, and it's definitely done through the Camuses and the Celayas and the brands that you get the big allocations on those wines as much as you can, and you're able to sell them and the dollars pile up. For me, that's why, I didn't start Wine Library TV for any other reason than I freaked out on my 30th birthday because I didn't feel I was giving enough back, and I felt like my soul wasn't 100% happy. I didn't start Wine Library.
You were giving a lot back. People were coming in your store, and as you said earlier, they were walking out with mixed cases of concerts.
Yeah, the people in New York and New Jersey, right? I felt like there was a different way. I saw new media, and I said, you know what? I've got the personality and the work ethic to do this, to come out with a wine show that could really make a thumbprint, to have a real legacy. To me, I wear a t-shirt all the time that says legacy is greater than currency. It's really the foundation of my thought process, my DNA, my terroir. And I felt like there was this big opportunity that no longer did the big TV studios or a radio station control the voice. And I thought I could create a platform. And that's why I do Wine Library TV, and really that's where I make the impact on getting people excited about other things. I did a show on Dolcetto a year ago. I looked the other day, we sell so much more Dolcetto a year now. And the vintages haven't been unbelievable. The Euro's not that great. There's no real reason. It's because people go out and explore. I demand it. I demand it. But you also
have this cult following. These Vaniacs will buy whatever you tell them to buy.
People look at it from afar and go, oh, he's building this cult following. I trash myself at every corner. I yell into the camera, don't listen to a word I say. To me, it's all about the individual palate, and I want to guide them and make them think about new things. I'm pumped that a lot of people tried Le Grind for the first time, a couple weeks ago when I did a big show on it, and so many people have been emailing me like, thank you, this is something I never would have thought about, and I'm really into it. But for them to, as a matter of fact, we've seen a big decline in the wines that we put on the show that I like in sales-wise, because I think people are starting to get I have a very interesting palate, by the way. I'm very driven by vegetables. You give me English peas, I'm a much happier boy than watermelon or plums. So, I don't think I'm the normal palate out there as it is. I just want people to realize that you just can't drink the same shit. You can't drink a wine.
It's a world of wine, so explore the bloody thing.
Please, for the love of God. Please. And so, I'm punching and kicking and putting myself out there, and really I feel like Captain America's shield, right? I feel like I put my myself so much out there that the anti-establishment or the people that don't like that kind of style, I feel like I'm holding off for all the Vaniacs, the rest of the people that intimidate them, that make them feel upset if they, I want people when they taste a wine to refer to it as Spree or Big League Chew or whatever the hell they think it is. I mean, I had a Riesling the other day that tasted like my garden hose. Like when you used to drink water out of the garden, that steeliness. I mean, that's what it is. The only thing I care about are really fundamentally what I'm pushing through are two things. Try different things and don't listen to anybody. For example, don't listen to me, don't listen to Parker. You're a wine cool god, right? Somebody that really gets into wine should, in essence, listen to you, but I don't want them to. I want them to be true to themselves. I love New Kids on the Block. You know how...
Sure you want to admit that?
Absolutely. I love them. I listen to them, and I have no problem with that. And then I listen to serious, respected music. There's time and place. When the Jets get pounded 44-13 and the Patriots beat them and I hate life, sometimes it's fun to have a 19% Zinfandel that beats my face in because I'm mad at the world. I mean, are those wines I want to drink? No. But you know what? Time and place.
I don't have many Gary moments yet, but I'm going to plan to have more
Gary
moments
with
my web TV show. But the one thing I think I may have gotten ahead of you on is t-shirts, dude. So I'm finally learning to market our stuff, and when we came up with Terroir, the name, how could we not have Terroir-is? So our 5 uber Terroirists, we pay homage, and we put them on t-shirts because there are not that much cool wine paraphernalia crap out there. So we've got Paul Draper.
This is awesome.
In the backs of the t-shirt, I'll answer 5 questions. The what, the where, the how, the why, the when. Name up top, My Wine Revolution. So Draper's our American guy. And then our first, and we love him dearly, is Barlow Mascarella. And yes, the idea for this came from my 5-year-old son, who I saw on a Che Guevara t-shirt. I'm like, why can't we have wine people on shirts? So this is Che's beret, and he's the only guy who gets to wear it.
Sport it?
Exactly.
So is he like the king of it all? He's the czar?
There are a few better terroirists than Barlow, and he was a socialist supreme.
Yeah.
So he lived the life. And then our California guy is Alvaro Palacios.
Spanish, you mean?
Spanish, and we honor him from all the work he did in the Priorat. With the
he did a lot of damage.
And so that's that. And we have 2 more to go. Anne-Claude Leflevre from Burgundy, and
then what?
J.J. Prum from Germany.
Are you going to keep going with it? I mean, this is the kind of thing where I can see. I might need all. Collect all 13. It's just like I might need them all.
If you buy all 13, I'll give you a slight discount.
See,
but
that's why I like it.
But not for you. You're a Jersey guy.
That's right. Double price.
You can afford to pay full price for these.
I'm ready.
Right.
I'm ready. These are unbelievable.